In this segment, we'll mount and access an E5320 and demonstrate the bandwidth capability of the E5000 platform. We'll be using an E5320 equipped with 24 Hitachi Enterprise SSDs and a J5800 with 24 Enterprise SAS HDDs. Before we get started, we should note that we can't max out the bandwidth capability of the single E5320 in this demo. To do that, we need enough workstations to consume all available bandwidth and over 72 HDD drives or 24 SSD drives. For this demo, we have a 1U server running VMware ESS6 server connected via 16 gigabit fiber to a 16 gigabit FC switch connected to the E5320 and J5800. Note that the E5000 series is OS and application agnostic and performs similarly in DAS or SAN configurations using local, clustered, or shared file systems. So let's get started. First, a quick look at what we set up in the last video. We have the E5320 RAID head and the J5800 JBOD. And we've configured 2 disk arrays for each of them. Now, we'll log into the vSphere management interface, where we should be able to see the arrays under storage. Here they are, the E5320 arrays and the J5800 arrays. So now let's go to Data Stores and create a new data store. We need to do this before loading the VM. Name the data store, and we'll load it on this SSD LUN here. Next, we'll partition it using the full disk. Review the summary and click Finish. Confirm that you want to partition the entire disk. You can see in recent tasks that it's now creating the VMFS data store. This will take a few seconds. Now it's ready, and here it is in our list of data stores. Now that we have our data store, we can create a VM within it. Click on Virtual Machines, and then Create VM. We want a new VM, and we'll name it. We'll use Windows, version 7, 64-bit. Select the data store we just created, and locate a Windows 7 ISO image. I placed a few on an existing data store, but I could have browsed my network for one too. Here's the one we want. Review the summary, then click Finish. Here it is in recent tasks, and here it is in our list of VMs. Now let's power the VM on. The activity bars will move while it's booting up. They've stopped, so now we can double-click the startup window and sign in. Now we'll use Iometer and import a 1 meg sequential write workload. Please note that as we mentioned earlier, we can't saturate the maximum IOPS and sequential performance with our current setup. We'll select the worker and inspect the workload. It's a 1 meg write, 100% sequential, 100% write, and 100% access specification. Let's go ahead and run it. And we're getting about 4.2 gigs per second, which is outstanding. Now let's do the same thing with a 1 meg sequential read workload. This is 1 meg, 100% sequential, 100% read, and 100% access specification. And here we're getting around 4.1 gigs per second, which is also excellent. Next, we'll import a 512-byte IOPS sequential write workload. (512 bytes, 100% sequential, 100% write, and 100% access specification. And we're seeing an amazing 95,000 IOPS per second. And finally, a 512-byte IOPS sequential read workload. (512 bytes, 100% sequential, 100% read, and 100% access specification. And here we're getting an astounding 200,000 read IOPS. This concludes the E5000 series mount and access demo. In our next video, we'll show you how to access Promise's top-notch technical support for the VTrak E5000 series. Promise, the leader in storage solutions.